Hi, this lesson is about solving a set of two equations with two unknowns with a method called the substitution. The assumptions are that we know how to solve one equation with one unknown, and we'll call our unknown x and y. Here's an example of a set at the bottom of the slide. We need two equations because we have two unknowns. The substitution method is a way to isolate one of the unknowns from one of the equations as an expression, and then take that expression and plug it into the second equation, and by doing that creating one equation with one unknown. Then we solve that one equation, we get the value of that one unknown, and once we get that value we'll plug it into the expression that we had in step 1 for the first unknown, and we'll obtain the value of the second unknown. This will be clearer once we see an example or two. Okay, so let's go to the example. So we have those two equations, and when we look at them, how do we choose which one to isolate an unknown from? We'll look at the simpler one, and the simpler one is number 2, where we see that y has no coefficient, so we can simply isolate the y unknown from the second equation by subtracting 2x from both sides of equation 2, and therefore we get the expression y equals to 14 minus 2x. Now we take that expression 14 minus 2x and we place it instead of the y over here in the first equation, and what we get is 3x minus 2 times that term, that expression, equals 0. So now we have one equation with one unknown, which is x. We solve it and we get that x is equal to 4. So this was the first step to find out one of the unknowns. Now in order to find the second unknown, we have to take the value of x, which is 4, and plug it in the expression that gives us y, and once we do that we get 14 minus 2 times 4, which gives us 6. So y is 6 and x was 4, so this is our solution. Now this was quite simple because we had it almost made, because we had the y without the coefficient. So let's look at a little bit more complex example. So this set doesn't have any unknown with a coefficient of 1, but the simplest coefficient is 2x, so we'll choose equation number 1 this time to isolate x from here. So what we do is we subtract 7y from both sides of equation 1, and we'll get 2x equals to 13 minus 7y, or when we divide by 2 we get x equals 13 minus 7y in parentheses divided by 2, and this is our expression, and we'll take this expression and plug it into the second equation here, 4 times this. So this is what we do: 4 times this term, this expression, minus 3y equals 9, and now again we have an equation with one unknown, which is y this time. So we solve that normally, and we get y equals to 1, and then we take that value of 1 and put it back in the expression that we isolated in step 1, and 13 minus 7 times 1, 6 divided by 2 gives us 3, and therefore x for that set is 3, so our solution pair will be x equals 3 and y equals 1. So this concludes this short lesson of solving two equations with two unknowns with the substitution method. If you have any questions, I'm ready to hear. Thank you very much and have a nice day.